Good morning, children. Today, in Social Science and Civics, in Class 9, we'll continue the lesson Democratic Rights. Now, some rights which are fundamental to our life are given a special status in the Indian Constitution, and because they are fundamental, therefore they are called as fundamental rights. Why are they called fundamental rights? Because these are the basic human rights which are given to every citizen in a democratic country. Because it helps in the development of a personality, and these are guaranteed by the Constitution. So, therefore, it is necessary that these are given to the people. The people are able to enjoy these rights for the betterment of the individual and the society. Now, the first right that we'll take up is right to equality. Equality means that everybody is given the same treatment, everybody is considered the same, whether a person is rich or poor, man or a woman, irrespective of all that. So, right to equality is the foundation of any democracy. No person is above law. That means whether it is law or every opportunity, it is the same for everyone. Under this, we talk about equality in matters of law. All citizens shall be treated equally, and that is what we have in our country. The Constitution also guarantees that all the citizens shall be treated equally, protected by the law of the country. There cannot be any form of discrimination. That is, on the discrimination that can be on the basis of caste, creed, color, sex, gender, or religion. The state cannot have any form of discrimination on any of these bases, be it caste or creed, color, and so on. Then we also have, under this, we have social equality and equal access to public areas. That means that nobody can be denied entrance into any of these public areas. Which public areas? That is, there may be parks, there may be museums, there may be wells, temples and all. So all citizens of the country have equal access to it. Then equality in matters of public employment. That is, it means that all citizens can apply for government jobs, and the equal opportunity is given to everyone. So there is no form of discrimination out here also. Then there used to be untouchability earlier in our country, but now it has been abolished. It has been done away with. So untouchability has been abolished a long time back, and if anyone is found indulging in this, then that person can be punished. So that is the abolition of the untouchability, so that everybody is given the same treatment. Then there is reservation. The government has provided reservation for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and the OBCs, but this is not against the right to equality. Then equality means giving everyone an equal opportunity to achieve whatever they are capable of. So, when there is equal opportunity given to everyone, whatever their capability is, according to that, they are able to achieve. So, we see that the right to equality, which is the foundation of a democratic country, considers everybody the same, everyone alike. We don't have any kind of titles that used to exist earlier on, except for the people who are in the defense services. Ranks are used in front of their name, or like a doctor may use that. Otherwise, we do not have any form of titles existing in our country. So that is right to equality. Now we come to the second important fundamental right, that is right to freedom. Now, right to freedom is also called a cluster of rights. Why it is called a cluster of rights? Because there are many freedoms given to people, given to the citizens of the country in the interest of the people. Now, right to freedom means what? No restrictions, or in other words, it means that people do not interfere in our matters, be it an individual or a government. Now, under this right to freedom, there are numerous rights or the other freedoms that we enjoy. The first that we we have freedom of speech and expression. This is one of the essential features of any democracy. Our ideas, our personality develop when we are able to communicate with each other freely. This freedom, but this freedom cannot be used to instigate violence against others. That is there. So, freedom of speech and expression, that means this can be done when we express our views through the media, through newspapers and pamphlets and all. That much we are able to do that, provided we are not instigating others. We are not instigating violence. We are not creating problems and disorder in the society. Then we have another freedom that we enjoy is to be able to assemble in a peaceful manner. Peaceful manner means that when citizens are allowed to hold meetings, there may be some issue, so a meeting can be held, processions could be there, rallies and demonstrations on any issues may be also there, but it has to be done in a peaceful manner and it should not create any kind of disorder in the society. So this is there. There cannot be any use of arms and weapons and all in this. So peacefully, if people want to demonstrate, people want to have rallies or hold meetings, they are free to do that. So that is another important freedom that we have in the country. Then also there is freedom to form associations. That is, citizens have the freedom to form unions, associations, or to promote, this is all done to promote the interest of their group or their associations. There can be students' union, there can be traders' union, there can be bankers' union, and so on. Then another important freedom that we enjoy is that the citizens have the freedom to travel to any part of the country. We do not need anybody's permission to do that. If we wish to travel to any part of the country, we are absolutely free to do that. Then we also have the freedom to reside and settle in any part or territory of India. That means that from one state to the other, if one wishes to move and to settle down there or to reside over there, the citizens are free to do that. So that is another important freedom that we enjoy. Then we have also freedom regarding the profession that we choose. So citizens have the freedom to practice any profession. They may carry out any trade or occupation. No one can force you to do or not to do a certain job, but this has to be done in a legal manner. Legal manner, that means the law, it should be legal, it should be lawful. That means within the limits of the law. Then no person can be deprived of life or liberty. A person cannot be arrested or detained unless there is proper legal justification. That means there has to be given a proper reason, and legally it has to be given. So right to freedom is also considered a cluster of rights. A cluster of rights because there are numerous rights that it includes. Like, for instance, we have the freedom of speech and expression. Then we are able to assemble in a peaceful manner. We are also free to form associations. We can travel anywhere, we can reside anywhere, we can practice any profession. So these are the numerous rights that we have. But the government can impose certain restrictions on us if it is in the interest of the society. So that can be done. So these are the different rights that we enjoy, the freedom that we enjoy under the right to freedom as the citizens of the country. Thank you.